Good morning. And again, welcome to Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide, where we believe there's a power in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it, and we are using it every single day of our lives. This is why I love our way of life. I love what Dr. Clayton said about that we believe in a loving presence of God, and that the evolution revolution that Neale Donald Walsch founded was to look at our spiritual citizenship and an all-inclusive God beyond color, race, creed, sexual orientation, and political affiliation, that we are all one. We are family-archy. And I love when you know that I am the president of the International Foundation for World Peace, and that I had the opportunity to meet with the Honorable Carol Hanshin. And Dr. Hanshin was the president of the United Nations in Geneva, Switzerland, the European sector. And she made a statement about we have patriarchy, we have matriarchy. I believe in familyarchy. And familyarchy is that we are all, each and every one of us, we are intimately related. And when we understand that the blood that courses through our veins is the same color of the blood that courses through all of humanity's veins, that this oneness, this energy, connects at the heart. The heart is the doorway to the soul. And that as we open our hearts one to the other, we learn and we grow and we unfold. This spiritual citizenship, I love this nomenclature. Spiritual citizenship. And I wanted to share something that Neale, when he founded Humanity's Team, and acknowledge that as we take responsibility for our planet, that we open a portal, that each and every one of us moves through to the other side, realizing that we can have a world that works for everyone. And he stated that what we would most benefit from right now is the releasing of our species from a global doctrine that creates separation and vicious competition, replacing it finally with an ethos of unity, cooperation, understanding, and compassion, generosity, and love. Don't you feel that? That we replace this vicious competition finally with an ethos of unity, and I love this, cooperation, understanding, compassion, generosity, and love. This civil rights movement for the soul is a spiritual activist project of Humanity's Team, a global organization that Neale founded. More information about Humanity's Team and all of us, all of its spiritual activism projects, one in each of the 12 spheres of life, may be found. You can just go online and just, Google Humanity's Team. Neale Donald Walsch is creating what he calls the conversations of the century in this online newspaper. And when we get it at a really deep level, that it is about the connection of oneness, and that we have an opportunity to sign the Oneness Declaration. And as we place our name on the Oneness Declaration and acknowledge that whatever goes on with us, that we begin to really heal ourselves. And as we heal ourselves, everything flows out of that energy and that consciousness, because the thing we're looking for, Dr. Ernest Holmes stated, who is the founder of the Science of Mind movement, the thing you're looking for, you are looking with. So if we're projecting our consciousness in the outer and we're judging, criticizing, and looking at what doesn't work, we get more of it, don't we? But as we get on the solution level and we join these grassroots foundations that spring up with the energy of the solution level, it's so easy to point out the problem, isn't it? It's so easy to point out what's not working. But the truth is to get that our consciousness and our energy on how can we make it a world that works for everyone. And I have been all over the world. And what I know is that people want peace. When Jill Jackson and Cy Miller wrote, "Let there be peace on earth, let it begin with me," I was in the School of Ministry with Jill. Such a profound anthem. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me, with God as our source. United all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. For God is our source. United all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. And we walk hand in hand in perfect harmony. It's not going to always be a vibrational match. That's all right. But what I know is that we honor one another. We acknowledge wherever your path is taking you, that's right for you. I honor that. And I have no judgment on it. And when we accept one another and where we're coming from, then what happens? There is an energy field of love. You know, I almost say every week, we let go and let God do what God does best by means of us. One of my students says, well, what does God do best by means of us? And I said, extend love. Extend love one to the other. Love is the strongest healing power in the universe. We extend love. And as we extend love, who are the greatest benefactors of that? Aren't we? Yes, we are. We were meeting at the Jewish Community Center for several years in Temple Isaiah. And what was so great is that they would do their thing on Saturday in their synagogue sanctuary. And then we would do our thing on Sunday in the chapel, the Lieberman Chapel. And one of my favorite characters in history is Golda Meir. And she had this amazing project that the prime minister said to her, I want you to go out to mainly America. And I love that because I feel that America, our ground of being is compassion for other countries. And no matter where we are at this moment of time, beyond politicians and beyond all of that bureaucracy, the ground of being in God we trust. Whatever we conceive our God to be, whatever name we put on our higher power, in God we trust. So Golda went out lecturing about creating an Israeli state. And we know that during World War II, the Holocaust, the atrocities, and the people that poured into Israel, their homeland, refugees. But yet this is a homeland that is open to embrace all that found themselves disenfranchised. In fact, Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's Search for Meaning, very famous psychiatrist in Germany. And when he was put in Auschwitz concentration camp, he had his life's work in his arms. And he said to the German guard, will you guard this so that when I return, I have my life's work? And he said, Yavo! And then threw it in the mud and everyone trampled over it. He said at that moment, he realized that he would have to let go of everything and recreate his life. And he said, no matter how terrible it got in the concentration camp, that they could not take away their freedom of choice and how they would choose to respond to the treatment. They could not take that away from them. He said there were acts of kindness, the stale pieces of bread that they received. He would see people break theirs in half and give it to maybe someone, an elder, someone that was starving. He saw random acts of kindness within the concentration camp and came out and wrote Man's Search for Meaning. And that meaning is that we are all related. It's the familyarchy. It's the relationship that we have one to the other. So the evolution, today's topic is I resolve to evolve. I resolve to evolve. And when I resolve to evolve, things that come into my energy field, and we all have it. I have stuff that's triggered. You know, I was raised in domestic violence and there was a lot of pain and hurt and abuse. My sister took her own life. So when I have stuff bubble up, I go into my heart of compassion. And as I breathe into my heart and I let go and let God do what God does best, which is to what? Extend love. So I extend love to my alcoholic father, who was raised, as my mother used to say, in an alcoholic home, and he was not wanted and was just given, she's called a pillar to post, where he would land, wherever he would land. So I have that compassion and that energy that when I visualize him as a 4-year-old boy, not wanted and sent out. So we all have our journey. We all have our pain. When Dostoevsky said that I may be worthy of my sufferings. And what that means is that we are redeemed through our suffering and come out of it, as Viktor Frankl, to serve one another. That no one can take away our freedom of choice, how we are choosing to hold our experiences. We either become embittered, and rightly so, when we experience these things on a human level, and then as our humanness gives way to the divine, what happens? The Christ consciousness arises triumphant and victorious, and we can be compassionate about the human condition. We're all subject to the human condition. So when Golda Meir would go out and she would share the plight of Israel, and she raised funds, she was amazing. And then she'd have heads of states, the prime minister, and all kinds of nobility into her little home, and she would serve tea and spice cake. And she made it herself. And they would sit. Come, let us reason together. And they would look at their highest vision, their deepest desire, and their most sacred goal, which was to get Israel to become their own state. And that those that were disenfranchised, the refugees that would come home to their homeland, they could be welcomed and cared for. And she did this single-handedly and served tea and spice cake. I love this. And there is a wonderful book about changing the world one cup of tea at a time. And there's a story in there about Southeast Asia. And that if you go to Southeast Asia and they offer you a cup of their tea, and their tea is like rancid butter and salt and water, and I think a little bit of goat's milk. This is the tea they serve. And if they offer you 1 cup of tea, you're a stranger. You've happened into their energy field and they offer it up to a stranger. And we know that the psalmist says, be not afraid to entertain strangers, lest you entertain angels unaware, right? The angels that come into our life that look like strangers. And if you are fortunate enough to be offered a 2nd cup of tea, you're a friend. You are now a friend. Come, let us join together in our cups of tea, our 2nd cup of tea. You are a friend. And of course, Gibran says, and the beauty of friendship, let there be laughter and the sharing of pleasures, for in the dew of little things, the heart finds its morning and is refreshed. We are friends. And if you are so fortunate that you are offered a 3rd cup of tea, your family. And being family, they say, I would give my life for you. And as Jesus, who became the Christ, said, the greatest gift is he who lays down his life for his friend. Because we know that energy is neither destroyed nor created. And that as I resolve to evolve energetically, I recognize that we are intimately connected, that we have a relationship, and that relationship is our divine heritage. That whatever we conceive our God to be, whatever name we put on our higher power, it matters not. But to acknowledge that which is within us is greater than that which resides in the world of conditions, appearances, and effects. So just as Golda was offering her tea and her spice cakes, and come, let us reason together. Let us acknowledge our vision of a state where all can come to their homeland and feel wanted and cared for and loved, right? And especially loved. And that happened through this woman's absolute persistence and determination. And we know that persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. So the evolution revolution, where we acknowledge that this is really an energy that allows us to know at the soul connection that we are spiritual citizens about a higher purpose, because our daily life is our temple and religion, right? Our daily life. And that when we acknowledge our daily life, everything becomes sacred. We hear that even the profane becomes sacred. We spiritualize it. And we acknowledge that, yes, we can transmute the energy of our experiences. This is why I love our way of life, is that we have the opportunity at any given moment to transform that energy into something that allows us, gives us that momentum to move on to the next level of our expression. We're all here to fulfill our destiny. That destiny is really a spiritual one. It moves beyond and transcends religion to our relationship with the divine. So I want to repeat Neale Donald Walsch, and incidentally, he was in my congregation in San Diego, and he was a ghostwriter for many, many authors that are out there that are quite famous now. And what I love is when he said that this civil rights movement for the soul is a spiritual activist project of humanity's team. What we would most benefit from right now is the releasing of our species from a global doctrine that creates separation and vicious competition, replacing it finally with an ethos of unity, cooperation, understanding, compassion, generosity, and love. Because love is the strongest healing power in the universe. This day, I offer you your third cup of tea. Yes, maybe at the beginning of this program, you took your first sip of tea as a stranger. Do not be afraid to entertain strangers, lest you entertain angels unaware that our angels come in mysterious disguises. In fact, when Mother Teresa was in New York and she was founding an AIDS hospice center, there were protesters and yelling and screaming, and a journalist went up to her and said, "What do you think of all of this, Mother?" And she said, "I think each are my Christ in distressing disguise. Each are my Christ in distressing disguise." And she moved on and opened up that AIDS hospice center. So on this day, as I offer you the second cup of tea, let us drink to our friendship. Yes, in the dew of little things, let there be laughter and the sharing of pleasures, right? And as I conclude today's presentation, I offer you that third cup of tea. We are family. And I feel it deeply that we are family. And through this family connection, our humanity, which gives way to our divinity, the Christ consciousness arises, the Buddha nature comes forth, and the holy I am present says, "Cast off your shoes, for where you stand is holy ground." And that makes all the difference. So as I offer you that third cup of tea and some spice cake, I know that all those that feel disenfranchised are embraced by a loving presence that completely and totally makes a difference. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The golden rule that moves beyond really time and space, to treat each other as we would want to be treated. It's so simple. and that this civil rights movement of the soul, this evolution revolution that allows us to work on ourselves so that we can extend love, makes all the difference. And so today, what I want to ask you, and what I know, is that we're all going someplace. Where is it? Higher yet. Where is it? Higher yet. Where is it? Higher yet. For I am in a high place, and I will not come down. None of these outer things move me. I am in a high place, and I will not come down. I say to you, namaste. The divinity within me salutes the divinity within you, and the divinity within you salutes the divinity within me. And if I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, there is only one of us. Namaste. I say shalom, the peace that passes all understanding. And God bless us, every single one. We are going higher. And it is a complete choice, because today we resolve to evolve. And so it is. Thank you so much. It's a joy to be with you. And now it's my great pleasure to bring the Reverend Prince Fleet Easton to the platform. And he has something so special planned for us. Take it away, Fleet.
Love, 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 love. There's nothing that can be done that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say that you can't learn to play the game. It's easy. Yeah. Nothing that can be made that can't be made. Nothing can be said that can't be said. Nothing you can do, but you can learn to be you. It's easy. Yeah. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Nothing that can be seen that can be shown. Nowhere can there be anything that wasn't meant to be. It's easy. Yeah. You need is love. Everybody now, all you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. There's nothing that is known that can't be known. Nothing you can see that isn't shown. Nowhere can you be that you're not meant to be. It's easy. Yeah. All you need is love. Everybody now, all you need is love. Let me hear you sing it now. All you need is love. Love, yes. Love is all you need. All you need is love. Everybody now, all you need is love. Sing it out around the world. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is coming from me. Love is coming from you. 'Cause love is all we need. Why, love is all you need. Yes, oh, it's all you need. Love is 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 all you need. That's right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Dr. Sharron Stroud.
This is our time of giving and receiving. And I would like to thank each and every one of you who have been sending in your tithes, love offerings, and financial gifts. It's because of you our doors are open for it was a year, March 22nd, and here we're already into mid-July. And I do want to thank you and just acknowledge the value that you receive, that you're giving. And some of you stated that you had never given to a spiritual community before. And I want to really acknowledge that energy, because the same opening that we give through truly is the same opening that we receive through. And my heart is just filled with gratitude. So please take your gift in your hand and just repeat after me. I give this gift with love and joy.
I give this gift with love and joy.
I give this gift as a sacred expression of who I am.
I give this gift as a sacred expression of who I am.
In giving to God, I give to myself.
In giving to God, I give to myself.
And so it is.
And so it is.